As we reflect on the last year and give thanks for all to whom we are grateful, we wanted to share a Positively Jack story this morning about a local father who would not be here to celebrate Thanksgiving if it were not for a group of strangers who did what others did not or would not. They didn't hesitate to save his life. Boise, Idaho, 6 years ago.
I was walking down the corridor and I started feeling like I was getting a little lightheaded. For some reason, I started to fall.
Don Wolfson doesn't remember anything after that.
I ran over to him. Everybody was, just walking on past and could see that he was in distress.
Doreen Lundberg was walking out of the restroom at the airport and saw Wolfson on the ground. No one was helping him.
And I knew that once I found out that he wasn't breathing and I wasn't getting a pulse, I wasn't hearing a breath, that we had to start CPR.
She started compressions, calling out for help.
I hear a whole bunch of commotion down the terminal.
Corey Woods heard her.
People were kind of gathered around asking for help and trying to figure out what was going on. And that's when I kind of jumped up to see what I could do.
The doctors subsequently told me at that time I was clinically dead. My heart had completely stopped.
Conveniently enough, between me and the situation, there was an AED that was mounted on the wall.
Together, Doreen, Corey, and an automated external defibrillator brought Don Wolfson back to life. He was rushed to the hospital where he underwent surgery to implant a defibrillator to prevent his heart from stopping again. After he recovered, Don tracked down Doreen. She's a flight attendant.
And she had already missed her first flight. It was very unusual, she told me this subsequently, that she was bumped off of her second flight.
Who wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
It was just a fluke that I was actually there at the time.
Neither was Corey Woods. He was scheduled to fly out earlier that day, but his flight was overbooked. And there's something else very unique about Corey.
I'm actually a Red Cross instructor. Part of my job at the school that I work at is to teach our students, but also our faculty and coaches and staff, CPR, AED, and first aid skills.
And it turns out he had the perfect partner in Doreen Lundberg.
I work for a major airline, and we have to do our CPR training every year.
She had just recertified.
I don't proselytize. I don't tell other people what to believe or who to believe in, but I really believe that there was something very significant that had interceded here. I believe in the angels that were sent to save me. It was just not my time to die.
He's family. Don and his family are now my family. Once you do CPR on somebody, there's a tie to them.
Don refers to you as one of his angels. How do you respond to that?
Well, it certainly, it means a lot. It really does. Everyone wants to make a difference.
2 months after suffering sudden cardiac arrest, Don Wolfson walked his daughter down the aisle.
Ready? Come on.
He and his wife now have a grandson who lives with them.
And they saved me. So they are my heroes. They are my heroines. And I am forever indebted to them, as is my family.
Grateful this Thanksgiving.
There you go. Ready?
And every day to the angels that have given Don Wolfson more time.
Good throw.
Wolfson says he considers these two women, Rita and Julianne, his angels as well. He sat next to them on the plane. He says he usually doesn't talk to anyone when he flies because he's typically too busy working. But that day was different. As a result, when he collapsed, they were able to give the airline his name and where he lives so the airline could contact his family immediately. And then it was this airline supervisor who happened to be there working that day, Charlene Oliver. She made all of the arrangements to get Don's family to Boise as soon as possible for free. Charlene met his wife and daughter at the airport and took them to the hospital. It is really a story about incredible kindness of strangers, and I hope it will encourage you to be kind. Don Wolfson's story is also an important reminder about learning CPR. It has to be performed within 2 minutes for the best outcome. So doing nothing as you wait for paramedics could be a death sentence if you think about it for anyone who has a heart attack. Don Wolfson is here today because Doreen and Corey didn't wait.